There's a few different ways to solve quadratics. In this video, I'm going to take us through solving a quadratic by factoring. And specifically, we're going to be factoring where our leading coefficient is not 1 and we've got multiple terms on both sides of our equation. So when you're solving a quadratic by factoring, we want to use what's called the zero factor property, which means we need to factor and let that product equal 0. So the very first thing I need to do before I jump to any factoring is make sure that I have 0 on one side. So I'm going to move everything from the right side of this equation over to the left. So I will go ahead and add my 3x squared. And then I will subtract the 2. And I'm just combining these with the like terms on that left-hand side. So I've got 10x squared plus x minus 3 equals 0. And now I need to factor. There's lots of different methods to factor. It's taught in a whole bunch of different ways. But my personal favorite is to factor by grouping. And to do that, I need to multiply my leading coefficient by my constant term and then find two factors that multiply to that value, but also add to my linear term, which is this positive 1x in the middle. So when I factor my negative 30, these are all of my options. And I'm looking for the one pair that adds up to positive 1. And again, I want positive 1 because there's a coefficient of 1 on that middle term. So the one that works is this negative 5 and 6. So instead of 1x, I'm going to have negative 5x's plus 6x's. It's still 1x, it's just in two separate pieces now. That 10x squared in the front doesn't change, and neither does that minus 3 at the end, and it still all equals 0. Now to factor by grouping, I'm going to split this down the middle, and I'm going to take out the GCF of the left half and then the GCF of the right half. So on the left, I see that both of these could be divided by 5x. So I'm going to factor out that 5x. I've got 5x, and when I pull it out, I've got 2x minus 1 left. On the right-hand side, I see that this 6 is positive, so whatever I'm going to take out is going to be positive. And I see that 6 and 3 have a 3 in common. So I divide them both by, again, a positive 3, so I'm going to write that plus 3. 6x divided by 3 is 2x, and then I get a negative 1. It still all equals 0. Now from here, I do see a common factor between both of those two pieces. So this piece and this piece are both being multiplied by a 2x minus 1. So I'm going to factor out that whole 2x minus 1. So 2x minus 1 is going to come out of the first and that second piece. So when those are gone, I have the 5x and the plus 3 left, and that becomes my second factor. So 5x plus 3. You could think of it like this. If I go back, I have 2x minus 1, and that 2x minus 1 is being multiplied by 5x, and it's being multiplied by positive 3. So I can just take the 2x minus 1 here and multiply it by 5x and positive 3 by using parentheses. That all equals 0. Now our zero factor property says if you're multiplying two things and you get 0, then either one or maybe both of those factors have to be 0. That's the only way to end up with 0 as your final answer. So from here I say, okay, well maybe 2x minus 1 is 0, or maybe the second one is 0, and I would have an equation of 5x plus 3 equals 0. So I just solve both of these and I'll have my two solutions. So I have two solutions to this quadratic. I have x equals 1/2, or x could be negative 3/5. I'm not going to check my answer this time, but you definitely should make that a common practice. I hope this helped. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.